In the previous video, we talked about organizing your media through either using search filters, color coding, or setting poster frames. In this video, we'll be talking about Nuke's powerful tagging system. Now, it's not only going to allow you to visually communicate with, say, production or artists, but it's also going to communicate with your asset management systems as well. If for any reason you're not still in the conforming workspace, or you've changed the default conforming workspace so it doesn't include the tags window up here, you can always add a tags window to any panel by right-clicking, going to Windows, and Tags. If we take a look at our tag presets, we can see we have quite a bit. Those are broken down into their individual folders here. So for apps, flags, notifications, markers, camera settings and weather, review tags for adding notes and comments, shots to kind of describe the shots, whether it's a background, foreground, midground shot, and whether there's blue screen or green screen in it. And then also status tags as well, so you can set the status of shots or clips or sequences even. Look at the views one, that was just if you're working with stereo. Let's take a look at our timeline and see what could be tagged up and what might need to go to different departments or where we can expect different assets from. So I'm just going to focus really on our plates track. So I can select my plates track and press 1 on the keyboard. So that way it loads it into my A buffer here as it did right there. Now I know I'm just strictly looking at my plates track, get an idea of what kind of tag and what kind of stuff we might need to do in here. All right, so we know those plates are definitely going to go to compositing. So we're going to add, say, Nuke logo on here or Nuke tag. Drop that right on there, and it's going to see it's tagged everything I had selected. And then I know at some point we're going to have these background screens tracked because we're going to be adding on some visuals of there, some graphic stuff. Maybe for those shots, those particular ones, we'll add a camera tracking tag on there. So we'll do some camera tracks on that. Looks like this one might need it as well. And I'll show you another method you can do it. You can also go into, say, the spreadsheet here. If you select the shot here, right click, you can right click on either in the spreadsheet or in the sequence here. You can also tag it this way as well. You can tag this shot selection. And it's just asking what type of tag you want to use for that. We're going to use the camera tracker. There it is. You can add a note in there if you like as well. So that's another way you can add the tag in there. I just find it kind of easy just to drag and drop. Maybe some visuals on this screen over here. Definitely through here, and probably this last one as well. All right, so now we have a couple tags on there. You can see you can keep adding tags to it for whatever purpose you might need. Take a look at our screens and see what we have to work with here. There's only those two. So we can assign them a tag for any purpose, wherever might that be going to, but I think I'll just leave tags off of that one, and we'll take a look at our animation reference. Now thinking ahead, maybe I want to just be able to separate or kind of find just these shots alone by themselves, so I don't have to search through the whole timeline like I was going through with the camera tracker. What I can do is I'll just select these as my animation. So I'll just grab this blue tag and just drop it on here as well, just to kind of identify this as maybe my reference, animation reference. I could have even just taken this blue tag and just drag it and dropped it right onto the track itself, just to identify that track as well. Now I know at some point there's going to need to be a robot in here. Some of these shots are going to contain a robot in it. I don't really have my own robot tag in here, but the neat thing you can do is actually add in your own tags. So I'm going to just select my project one here so I can create it as part of my project tags. Right click in here, do new tag. This creates this new tag for me. If I double click this, I'll have the option to choose from any of these pre-existing icons. Or if I go all the way down to the bottom, choose custom. I already have one set up here. It needs to be a PNG. So I have a PNG, open that up and call this, say, robot. You can put a note in here saying robot goes here. And you can even add some metadata keys in there as well. We'll leave that as it is for now. You see we have our custom tag up here, so that's pretty neat. Now I can just begin tagging these shots that I know where the robot's going to go into. I'll tag it right there. Let's check the next one. I'm going to replace that arm. We'll need to put the robot in here as well. So it's done and tagged with the shots that are going to need the robot in it. And what else can we tag here? You can actually tag project items as well, like say your bin folder. If we go into our bin, I'm going to split this window off so we can have the tags open as well. While we're looking in our footage folder. If I see anything in here that needs to be tagged for any particular reason, we'll go to status. How about that? Maybe these shots were omitted. So we can drag and drop omitted tags on here. You'll see they're right here, tag omitted. You can leave a note in there as well. I can tag the whole entire sequence if I want. We'll say it's in progress. So if I take the tag and if I go into the window or the viewer, you can see I have tag whole sequence, tag just the frame we're currently at, tag a track item or tag a clip. I'm actually going to tag the whole sequence. When I do that, it gives me a little tag icon up here at the top of my viewer window. If I click on that, I can add any notes to it, add any metadata. I can add additional tags if I want, and they'll start to build up in there. So far, we've tagged clips, we've tagged our shots, we've tagged the tracks, and we've tagged our sequence. We're able to do that by dragging and dropping directly onto it. We did the right click and tags as well to tag the shot selection or tracks or sequence. And we also did the drag over the viewer to tag it that way. So say now we have a really long sequence that we're working with, and we need to find or want to view all the shots of just the robot. What I can do is go to my robot up here and take this tag and drop it into my spreadsheet. It's going to show me all of the shots that I tagged with the robot, which are these ones here. Pretty useful because now I have them all in one location. I can select them all like this and see on the timeline which shots have the robot there. I can even change the speed for all of the shots now I have selected. So rather than having to pick through the timeline, I have them all right here. I can just make one change, say the speed. It's going to apply to all of them at that point. I'm going to undo that or go back to 100%. Now, if I want to search for other things as well, say the blue tags that had the animation reference on there, I can clear that out. If I just want to see the blue tag shots, we'll just clear that out. And we'll just drop the blue tags in there. So we only have those ones now. You can even search with tags that have the multiple tags on it. So we had some that had camera tracker on it. We had some that had Nuke tag on it. And then some that had the robot tag as well. So if I select all my shots, we can see it's that entire plate track. But it's showing everything even though some of these shots don't contain the robot tag. That's because, once again, under the magnifying glass in the search bar, we currently are set to match any criteria. Now, if I match all criteria, all three of these tags, we'll see it's only going to show the shots that contain all three of those tags, and that's going to be those ones right there in the timeline. Same thing can be done for searching through the bin or the footage folders. We had omitted on here, so if I want to find all the shots that have been omitted or all the clips that have been omitted, just drag and drop my omitted tag in here, and there you have it. These are the 2 clips that have been omitted. Easy enough to search through there. Another great thing about this tagging system, say we come across to one of these shots here. Let me make sure I'm viewing all my tracks. And we want to leave a note for this shot right here. So we can add in maybe say a review note, add a note on here and drop this tag. And in this thing, I'll type in robot will walk through screen. So any of these notes that you put in here, this metadata, if you're using an asset management system, say like F-Track or Shotgun, you're going to be able to take this information out of here and pass it through to those asset management systems. That works great also not only for just notes like that, being able to input notes, but statuses. So you can mark which shots are, say, final. We'll say this one's final over here. And we'll say maybe this one's awaiting approval over here. And if you have your system set up to read in and out of Nuke Studio or Hero, then you'll be able to just set these status tags, put these notes in there, and that's going to get passed through to your asset management system. So now I can just check in here. Let's see what's awaiting approval. That shot's waiting approval. Great. Okay. Let's see what's been finalized. Oh, we're currently on match all criteria. So let's match any criteria. Then we can see this shot's been finalized here. This was the one that's awaiting approval. Let's just delete this. So we only have our final tag in there. One other thing I'll mention about these tags is if you didn't catch it already, say you have your custom tags. I'll create a new custom tag even. And we'll call this, we'll just use this as one that's already existing. So maybe we'll say good. This one will be approved. And here you can type great job. So anything that you enter into these tags prior to dropping them onto an item is going to retain the note with that tag. Meaning that, say I can take this now, drop it on here, look at that, and my note's there. If you notice that I click on any of these other tags, we'll say this blue tag here, I type in something, blue tag, type in that information there, it's only going to apply to this shot where this tag is at. If I look at the blue tag over here, it's not going to apply to this one. So this is kind of a global setting for these custom tags up here. If you're adding notes in here that need to be applied to any shot that you tag with it, these other tags on here are just local. If you need to get rid of any of the tags on here, you could either select all the clips that have tags on it, right click, go to tags, clear tags, you get rid of tags that way, or just click on the tag itself and hit the minus button. So we've gone over how to tag clips, shots, tracks, sequence, either through right clicking, adding a tag, dragging or dropping onto the item itself or within the viewer, how to add or create your own custom tags, adding notes and metadata to that, as well as how to use these tags in the search bars. This will conclude the tagging system video. Coming up in the next video, we're going to be discussing the editing tools, annotations, and timeline effects.